In this episode, you'll get a breakdown of the quote, be strict with the vision and loose with the plan, along with how to apply it to your business. Welcome to Energy Alignment for Entrepreneurs, the podcast helping online service based entrepreneurs reduce stress, balance emotions, and grow a profitable business in less time. I'm your host, Justin Igliscus. Let's go. In today's episode, you'll discover the trap of conformity and how to be the man who does not compromise on his truth. How to ignite the fire which got you started, but even stronger this time. And the day-to-day tricks that sustain a raging, powerful, strong drive. Let's start with the quote. Be strict with the vision and loose with the plan. How does this correlate to motivation? So, right, a lot of the times why we start is not where we're rooted in the actual building of the thing. So we start, right? And I don't know if talking personally is going to be the most helpful way to do this. Maybe. So I started in 2022 because I felt I had a message to share. What did I start? I started the podcast 3 years ago, like January 1st, 3 years ago. And I ended up getting on Twitter, starting coaching. And that happened because I got on Twitter. Somehow my mind had this idea that the best way to grow the podcast would be to funnel people there from short form. And that is a fine way to build a podcast or to grow a podcast. Now, all I'm saying here is things changed, right? But I wasn't too strict with the plan because I felt it was still in line with the vision. So, right, that essence of the vision for me was having a message to share. And coaching still let me share that message. Being on Twitter still let me share that message. Although it had to go through many refinements. I'll tell you that. Like if you go back and listen to an episode from 3 years ago, of course I've changed. It would be, I'd be worried if I didn't change. So I'm just being honest with you there. But the message itself, you can still feel that it's the same message. And that matters. It matters to me. And that's kind of the main reason for bringing that up. So, what this means though, there's two words there's the vision, there's the plan. Then there's to be strict, and then there's to be loose. So, why are we strict with the vision? And that is because often the vision comes from a place of intelligence. But the vision of sharing a message. I didn't know what the message was, didn't have any intention on like sharing the message so I can get insert desires. I just knew that somehow, some way, there was a message in my heart that had to be shared. Now, right? That's the strictness. The looseness is, I don't know when this message is going to reach people. I don't know how many people it's going to reach. I don't know if it's going to make me money, how that's going to look. Didn't know. And honestly, if you're building a business, this is the place that you need to be building through, is that essence of non-attached creation. You know, it's like karma. It's like something from another life, another deep inside of you is driving you to create, to build, to burn off karma through using energy in a certain capacity. So, so how can you apply that to your business? I mean, essentially, ask yourself that question. Like, what's the fundamental energy that I'm running my business through? And write about that. See, does something need to change? Or Am I in the wrong field? Did I start this business from like a shallow place? Now I'm not saying tear it down because you can pivot, and pivoting is super important. Pivoting has nothing to do with self-pity, with guilt, shame. Um, but you just realize, oh wait, my heart is telling me it's time to pivot. Everything you've learned through that past endeavor is going to carry over. So I just need you to know that. Now, is there anything else with this quote here? It's this way of building materially without um overthinking. And like I say in the other videos, fucking cross your T's, dot your I's, tie the camel, right? Iron your clothes, do those things, right? Make sure your engine has oil in it. Like, you know, but I only go there because I need to make sure people aren't. And hey, if someone is to skew my message, that's them. Nothing to do with me. That's them. And, but at the same time, I do my absolute best to cover the other angles. But the fact is, this is why I speak structurally rather than super personally. Is structurally, you can apply it to your life. Personally, you may feel like I'm talking about me and not learn the structure. So that's why the quote itself is beautiful. It has nothing personal. It's like, and then I shared a little bit of the personal story with the podcast, that journey. But yeah, be strict with the vision and loose with the plan. So it's like, know how to zoom in, use your sniper scope, be loose with that sniper scope, right? Just because you zoom in and there's a cow in your sniper scope doesn't mean you're going to take that cow out. And make sure you zoom out, right? If, let's say, you're using your sniper and you find yourself zoomed in on cows, and it's like, wait, I'm not here to shoot cows. Zoom out, right? And that's a hilarious example. Absolutely hilarious. But that's the essence. Like, if you find yourself zoomed in too closely at something you're not supposed to be zoomed in on, be honest with yourself, be loose with that, and let the overall vision help you rescope. In order to rescope accurately, you have to zoom out. So that's very much philosophical. Take what you can from that. If you want, write about that. But the 3 points. So the trap of conformity and how to be the man who does not compromise on his truth. So your relationship to conformity, you're going to realize like it does matter whom you're around and what season you are in your life. Let's say you're young, 20s, and you're starting off in a company or something. Dear God, help your heart. Hopefully, you're working with cool people, right? People who are aligned. But, and there's just something I do have to say like, don't be so eager to jump into a corporation. Don't be so eager. And at the same time, maybe you do have to work for a corporation, but work on your path when you're not in that corporation, right? Like on your weekends, something like that. Now, I can't tell you what to do. Maybe this is just a reminder. Usually, what I'm saying is just going to be a reminder for you because you already know everything I'm saying. It's just sometimes we don't have the space to feel it for it to be so clearly said. So that's all I'm doing here. I'm not like teaching you anything. And if you dare, like, if you see me as a teacher, remember, I'm not your authority. You may hear something from me, and then you may do the work, which is noticing your reactions, being honest with yourself, and then you may stumble upon the truth. You may learn. But that has nothing to do with me because everything I'm saying isn't from me. So I digress. If we're conforming, right? If we're living small, if we're trying to fit in, if we're people pleasing, we're living in energies of fear, of scarcity, of insecurity. Those are small vibrations. And, you're going to have to live that life for a bit to get so sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? Hence rock bottom. You live small. Let's look at a snowblower or any machine that uses a choke, right? When you choke, it's that motor starts to stall. It's not getting the airflow, whatever it needs, the fuel. It's not getting what it needs. This is what conformity does to you. On one level, on this planet, you've came here to do some work. And when you're choking your spirit, choking your heart off, trying to fit in, living through small vibrations and energies, fear, etc., you're compromising on the truth of who you are, what you are, and why you're here. So you may have to choke yourself for a bit to learn that that's not what you're meant here to do. But in totality, big picture, you needed to choke yourself to learn that you're not supposed to choke yourself. Okay? So what I'm saying is it's like this essence of looking, watching, listening, and seeing without judging yourself. Because that's the mind. It's I digress. How to ignite the fire which got you started, but even stronger this time. Woohoo! Ask yourself some questions. Some questions about what got you started, right? Because if we got ourselves into something, sometimes the path is the right path, but we just took one wrong turn. Good Lord, that movie. I digress. When you take that wrong turn, just you learn so much through noticing, oh, wait, I was on the path. I veered from the path, the fork. I didn't know it was a fork. There weren't any signs, so I guessed. I took the wrong turn, but now I see I'm on the wrong turn. Don't be foolish and just keep going the wrong way, just because you're already going the wrong way. That's the no. Just be honest. I mean, you might still have to go further the wrong way to realize you're going the wrong way. But if you're at that point right now where this is hitting home, and you're like, oh my gosh, she's talking to me. I'm going the wrong way. Baby, turn around. It is so an intelligent person has the balls, the willingness, the lack of arrogance, the grace, the humility to be like, "Oh yeah, whoops. Whoops. I went the wrong way." Right? Okay, I'm turning around now. It's not something you have to be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so insert self-judgment because I went the wrong way. I can't believe it." I mean, I'm just telling this story exaggerating because that's how my mind would sound. Um, so let's just be honest with ourselves. So ask, like, what got you started? And have I strayed from the path? Is it time to turn around? Um, Questions of that nature. Now, the day-to-day tricks that sustain a raging, when I use the word raging, I mean like a stoked but controlled fire. A stoked but um accurate fire, if you will. So the day-to-day tricks that sustain a raging, powerful, strong drive. Balance. So what are the tricks which keep you balanced, yet powerful and strong? And first of all, we cannot be predictable, right? So this means, sure, go for walks, but you need to exercise hard too. You don't need to exercise hard every day, right? But you need that dance. Like, you can't always train your body in a predictable way. And even in the intense training, this is why I like sport. Because, for example, here's like a superset. If you go on nature walks, it's very uh, casual, but deep for your spirit, for your psyche, but casual for your body, but super sustainable. You do something like the gym, a little less sustainable, a little more intense, but could still be routine and casual. Then you have sport, whether it be MMA, extreme sports, biking, snowboarding. Uh, do something somewhat extreme, please, if you can, if you're at the age where you can. For me, that's jujitsu. I'm going to get into, mark my words, I will probably. We'll see where life takes me. But I have an inclination, very much feeling drawn toward surfing or slash and extreme mountain biking. So, did I say jujitsu for me? But find something for you, somewhat extreme. Now, levels of extremes can change, right? For a lady, maybe that's gymnastics. Or what do they call it? Starts with P, Pilates. I feel like that's a cardio thing. Maybe that's fun for ladies. But just some sport that's kind of intense. I don't know if I would. I digress. I'm very much digressing. So, balance, exercise, variety, spontaneity. These are the things that keep your fire powerful, strong, and spontaneous and free. You need activities in your life which cultivate that unpredictability and challenge you. Um, so recap the trap of conformity and how to be the man who does not compromise on his truth. Feeling when you stray, being deeply, wholly honest with yourself, noticing the pressure of confusion, like feeling that tension, that weight, that wall caving in when you're confused or foggy or overthinking, right? And then going outside. If you're in a place where you're so confused that it feels crazy, you just physiologically switch your environment outside, push ups, like do something, right? And then you'll notice your mind, your psyche, the space will come. And then you can look at how you're thinking if you're still thinking because you got a little bit of space. Now, how to ignite the fire which got you started, but even stronger this time. Looking at the actions we take, noticing what actions create what shifts. Hmm? And are you ready for the power? Like, honestly, genuinely. Because you get powerful, but the power is not about you nor for you. So, are you ready for that? Now, the day to day tricks that sustain a raging, powerful, strong drive. Simplicity, instrumental music. I didn't mention this one, but yeah, it's a theme in my videos. Less YouTube, less words, less stimulation, less scrolling. Just instrumental music does so much because you still get that, you still get the vibes without the words, the conditioning, the projection, the emotional, the traps. Then what else do we got? Health, play, space. Really, fundamentally, the day to day tricks come down to all that create the internal space. So, yeah, I'll leave you with this. The man who does not force gets, and I want never gets. Thank you. Let's go, guys. Like you, every one of you listening who's made it to this point, thank you sincerely. Each, each individual, you warm my heart. I hope I warm your heart. Team. If you want to learn more, just click the link in the description. First, you'll get the psychological journaling prompts. Second, you'll get 11-page free doc, how to reduce stress. Third, 2 to 4 new weekly emails. Grab the free gift below. Speak soon.